Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to be talking about Piranha Bytes and everything related to this studio, which includes their next project, which is most likely going to be ELEX 2, and also we are going to talk about the Gothic Remake, which has a lot of positive things around it after the playable teaser actually ended, because developers took a lot of the feedback they got from the community very seriously, and we're going to be going into that as well. But first things first, Piranha Bytes and ELEX 2. Let's talk about it. So in 2019, Piranha Bytes was acquired by THQ Nordic, and if you remember before that, THQ Nordic also acquired Spider Studio, which actually made Greedfall. That's their latest game. And maybe you know about Greedfall, maybe you don't, but there is one thing that you can probably think about. And that is that Greedfall was, when you think about the number of sales and the amount of people who saw the trailers and the game, and everything was substantially bigger than the previous games Spiders did, like Bound by Blood, etc, etc, Technomancer, whatever. Because they got funding from THQ Nordic. And because Piranha Bytes, before that, was with Joe Wood, which wasn't really a good deal. When Piranha Bytes with Joe Wood was with Joe Wood, then you got the Gothic 3 situation where the game was released before it was supposed to be released because publisher wanted to release the game. And then also what Joe Wood did was a very shady move, is give rights to develop a new Gothic game to Spellbound, and they developed Arcania, A Gothic Tale, which is a game that I want to erase from my memory completely, like completely. So now that Piranha Bytes had ELEX, which was a more successful game than if you look at Risen 3, for example, and I do believe that ELEX was definitely an advancement when you look at the Risen 3 gameplay, and when you look at the entire Risen 3 game, ELEX 1 was a much better game. Now, with all of its issues, people liked it. And even though the world itself, you know, having swords and barbarians, but also on the other side you have mechas and robots and everything, people said, like, is this really the universe that Piranha Bytes wants to pursue? In my opinion, I think yes, especially because the ending of ELEX 1, I'm not going to spoil it in this video, a lot of people didn't play the game yet, so I'm not gonna spoil it. The ending of Risen 1 definitely sets the stage for ELEX 2. And Piranha Bytes likes to, oh my god, they like to foreshadow things a lot. If you played any single one of their games, Gothic 1, 2, and 3, Risen 1, 2, and 3, first off, they like to do trilogies. They really, really like to do trilogies. And that's why when people tell me that their next game is not going to be ELEX 2, I say, why? They always like to do trilogies, and it doesn't matter if their game is a huge success or not, they are going to finish the trilogy. That's just how they do it. And in my opinion, I do believe that ELEX is going to be a trilogy, with ELEX 2 probably being announced this year and maybe even being released this year, because in 2019 Piranha Bytes posted a tweet when actually they were acquired by THQ Nordic, and also when we got the news that Gothic Remake is going to be developed. They said that the announcement is scheduled for 2020 of their new game, which is again probably going to be ELEX 2. But if you do watch their channel, and Piranha Bytes does have a YouTube channel, now the only problem is they talk in German, so you have to wait a bit until they have subtitles if you don't know German. But they talk a lot about the details about the game. They don't really talk a lot about the news of their next project, but they do dwell on the project. And basically once 2020 happened, once COVID happened, they had to move from home, and they're still working from home. So the game is going well, according to them from their podcast. The game development is going great. The only problem is that sometimes, yeah, working from home can definitely be an issue, but because they planned something for 2020, and obviously we had what we had in 2020, and they also mentioned Cyberpunk and all of that, so I'm thinking that Piranha Bytes didn't really want to release a new game this year, because it was just so packed with stuff, you know, packed with games that definitely would take the attention from their project. But this year, in my opinion, feels like a really good year to have a new Piranha Bytes game. It really does. So in my opinion, I'm guessing that the ELEX 2, as far as their development is currently on, I believe that in 2021 we are going to get a first announcement trailer and probably a website itself. That's what I managed to gather from their latest video. So this is not old news, this is not something from way before, this is what they said in their new uploads on their channel. I'm also going to leave a link to their channel. So also, now that THQ Nordic owns them, they are going to have more money on development, but also they're going to have access to more tech and also to marketing, which is extremely important for Piranha Bytes and their new game. Marketing done by Piranha Bytes was okay, but I do believe that now under a different publisher which has more money in a sense, they're going to push that marketing even more, because you as THQ Nordic are not going to buy a studio and then lose money on it. No, you're going to buy a studio that you believe in and you're going to try to maximize your profits once that game is out. So of course they're going to push marketing a lot. Now the next thing that I want to talk about, especially to pivot with THQ Nordic, because THQ Nordic bought the studio, obviously they have rights to their IPs. The difference between Joe Wood and THQ Nordic is that Joe Wood took the IP aggressively from Piranha Bytes and gave it to a new studio. Meanwhile, in this current climate, Piranha Bytes is working on their next game and they happily gave the permission for THQ Barcelona to make a new Gothic game. So automatically, this new remake should be better than Arcania: A Gothic Tale. And also, after the playable teaser actually ended, a lot of people had divided opinions about it. Obviously, the biggest problem was the combat, and of course graphics were... The overall art style was too bright and shiny than it was in Gothic 1, that Valley of Mines actually. It was too bright, it was too colorful in a sense. Now, after the playable teaser ended, they actually said, alright, we gathered all of the info. First off, combat, they scrapped that completely. They said they're going to rework the combat from ground up. They're still aiming for a more tactical combat, but at the same time, they were not happy with the combat that was actually in the playable teaser, so of course that was scrapped. Also, they said that there are going to be animations for eating and drinking. They're actually compiling ideas which are Gothic worthy, which should be or maybe shouldn't be in Gothic whatsoever, because they don't want to bloat the game with a lot of mechanics which don't really fit in the Gothic universe. So they're trying hard to make this game, worthy of a remake. Now, of course, all of this was actually posted in July of 2020, so these news are kind of old when it comes to the teaser and the changes they are going to make, but a lot of people didn't really report on this, so I assume like no one actually read this too much because it's on their Discord page. And of course, they said they want to communicate again sometimes in 2020, but since no one actually, in 2021, I'm sorry, so they're gonna start communicating again in 2021. That's gonna be great because they're finally going to start revealing more stuff, and we are going to find out if THQ Barcelona actually managed to turn Gothic Remake around and make it more true to the original that people are going to like, etc, etc. We're going to wait, but this is going to be a big year for Piranha Bytes, in my opinion. I do believe that this year ELEX 2 news are coming, and I do think they're coming very soon. And also, I do believe that we're gonna be getting more info about the Gothic Remake. Of course, Gothic Remake is definitely not planned for this year. I don't think it's going to come out this year, but next year it could happen. But this year it could be just the year of ELEX 2 when it comes to Gothic Remake 2022. Also, one more bonus thing, History of Corinnes, which is going to be the biggest mod for Gothic 2, has also been sadly delayed. I've been in contact with the developers who are actually working on that. They reached out to me saying like, yeah, the mod is going to be delayed for 2021 because 2020 was like that. So 3 projects which are very interesting for the Gothic community or Piranha Bytes community in general. So Finally, we're getting new stuff. I think it's been years since we got something Gothic related, or especially last time that Piranha Bytes released ELEX was such a long time now when I think about it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow we're going to talk about different stuff. We're going to be talking about different gaming news. Don't forget to tell me down below what you want to talk about, and also tell me what you think about ELEX 2 and what you think about a new Gothic remake. This is, as I said, LastKnownMeal signing out. Check us out on Twitter and Discord, and I do have a Patreon page. If you wanted an extra way to support the channel, you can do it through the link below. This is LKM signing out for the third time, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.